In this lesson, we're going to learn about how to use automation to write stuff that you can use in your marketing. And when I say automation, I really mean artificial intelligence. Now, the artificial intelligence I'm going to show you can't make nuanced decisions about what to write, but it can help you create a really good first draft, at which point you can start editing. And this will make the writing process go faster and be less painful. More importantly, it will help you increase the conversions you get from the marketing copy that you write. And this is where the AI is really focused, on helping you get the results you want easier and faster. So the tool I'm going to show you will help you write all kinds of marketing copy, such as web content, blog posts, and emails. And the price is ridiculously low, which I will share with you in a bit. But first, let's put things in context. As you know, I'm a big proponent of working smarter, which technology can help you do. But as you know, technology isn't automatically going to make your life easier, right? In fact, it usually makes things harder for most lawyers, and that's why we're going to put things in context first, so that you understand how this technology I'm showing you fits into a larger picture. So there are two kinds of work. The first kind of work is low-level work, which is usually administrative stuff that we call busy work. And a sad fact of modern technology is that because it allows us to do any kind of work with our computers, we tend to do the stuff that used to be done only by secretaries and administrative assistants. When we do this work, we get frazzled and we get stressed out. We know it's not the stuff we should be doing, but often we feel like we can't afford to get help, so we just suck it up and do this work ourselves. But the high-level work is the stuff we get paid to do, and which we can make more money from if we can do more of it, and preferably do it in a calmer state of mind. So here's a framework that shows how value is increased as we use technology, specifically data and information technology, and use it in a way that allows us to use our knowledge and wisdom to help our clients at the highest level possible. Now, this framework is not something I came up with. It comes from page 27 of the book Information Anxiety 2, which was written by Richard Saul Wurman, who is the fellow who first coined the phrase information architecture and also founded the now famous TED Talks. So the framework is designed to help us understand a certain kind of evolution related to the use of information in the information age, which of course is the age that we're living in now. So information is helpful and it's more valuable than data. Information is what we get when we can make sense of data. Now, the data has to be useful in some way, but by itself, data isn't useful, right? We have to use it in a way that makes it informative, right? Because that's what information is, something that is informative. So information comes from filtering, organizing, weighing, and arranging data in a way that helps us make sense of it. Knowledge is supported by data and information, right? Knowledge is how we solve problems. We do this by understanding information and data in a way that leads to useful results. And this is what our clients want from us, right? Knowledge that leads to results. They don't want to pay us for our mere efforts. And that's why we need to speed up the effort part by using technology so we can spend more time and energy in the thoughtful knowledge dispensing mode, right? So, okay, that covers data, information, and knowledge, but what is wisdom? Well, wisdom can be defined a bunch of ways, but I think a useful definition is that it's a bundle of knowledge, right? Wisdom comes from the experiences that you have in various areas of your life. It comes from reflecting on those experiences and starting to see higher level patterns that make it easier for you to have insights in new situations, even if you don't have enough specific experience in that realm. So, what would be an example of wisdom that gives you insight in a new situation? Okay, so let's talk about the decision-making abilities of a world-class chess player, right? They have developed these decision-making abilities in the context of playing a strategy game. So what happens if they decide to play poker? Well, even though they aren't very good at poker yet, the odds are that they've learned some things about game-playing strategy in general that will help them make better decisions than someone who's never played any kind of high-level strategy game, right? So wisdom comes from experience and situations that are similar to the one you're in now. So what if technology could give you a leg up and give you the benefits of wisdom or knowledge without needing all the experience necessary to get that wisdom and knowledge, right? How can that happen? Well, the answer is through frameworks. So when you use a framework, you can sort of kickstart your understanding so that you act more like someone with knowledge or wisdom and do so sooner than you otherwise would, right? Frameworks keep you from wasting time reinventing the wheel. They get you closer to the result you want faster. And one of the frameworks that we all remember is the I.D.A framework, which we first learned about in law school, right? This is how we learned to write legal briefs. We were told by our instructors, just follow this framework and write briefs by defining the issue in a way that's favorable to the client position, then state the rule that applies so it's clear to the judge which legal principle we're applying, and then apply the facts to the rule and to the issue, and then conduct an analysis with citations to cases and so forth, right? And then finally, you're asked to state the conclusion that you want the judge to reach. Now, this is a very important element that many lawyers forget about when they go out into practice. And I saw this when I was clerking for a judge for the 2 years I did after practice. I would see attorneys submit briefs, and they wouldn't state in the conclusion exactly what they wanted. And that meant that the judge was supposed to guess. But of course, the judge can't guess. And so, that little part, the conclusion, was really important. And, it's something that I realized, okay, they taught it in law school, and yet here you go, out there in the real world, lawyers forget about this, and the judge would have to tell them, look, I can't guess exactly what you want me to do. You want me to give you an injunction, enforce something, you want me to give you money, tell me what you want, right? So that has to be stated, and that's part of the framework, right? So that's a framework we all know about, right? The I.D.A framework. But let's talk about a framework related to writing marketing copy. And that framework is something called the A.I.D.A framework, or AIDA, I guess, if you want to, pronounce it. And basically this framework, the idea is that, when you're trying to write copy that gets people to do something, you need to first get their attention. And you're specifically trying to get the attention of the ideal client or a very, very specific type of person. You're not just, shouting, hey, listen to me. You're trying to start the process of marketing by focusing on getting the attention of a specific type of person. Then when you have their attention, you're going to explain things, you're going to build rapport, you're going to engage with them. And if you do this, they will keep paying attention, they will become more interested in what you have to offer. And then they'll get to a point where they have a desire to hire you, in the case of service business like a lawyer, or buy a product if it was, for a product. And then finally, you invite them to take action. So this framework was created in the marketing world. And in the marketing world, people know this framework the way lawyers know the I.D.A framework. So if you go talk to somebody and they don't know what this framework is, then they don't know marketing, right? They learn some part of it that is discrete and isolated, but they don't know the fundamentals. So that's one good thing to know. So now you're going to know the fundamentals of marketing. So this is the framework that you need to use to write good copy, or this is one of the key frameworks. So now let's talk about how to use this framework to get Jarvis, which is the name of the artificial intelligence robot that Conversion AI has, to help you write marketing copy that allows you to skip over writing the crummy first draft and just kick in with the editing part of the process. So that's what's going to make this a lot easier. Now, the cost of using Jarvis is $29 a month for up to 20,000 words, which works out to 1/10 of a penny per word. But now let us dive in and let me show you how to get the most out of Jarvis using this AIDA framework. So that's what we'll cover in the next lesson.